someone sent me a message saying that Pat McAfee had a kind of throwaway line on a show saying, "I'm going to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers." And I heard this and it made my brain really go crazy and have a lot of fun. I think one of the things that the sports media does quite frequently is talk about hypotheticals. And I really don't, in my head, I don't think I very often entertain ideas that are ridiculous or outlandish. And so I want to have fun with this one because when I heard this, it got me thinking. You know, I didn't see the clip. I didn't hear what Pat actually said. And I want to say I have a ton of respect for Pat and his team. They do really good work. He's got a lot of people working for him. And they do a lot of really good stuff on YouTube and on the podcast where I don't really listen to his podcasts. I listened to an Adam Schefter interview he did one time. It was great. And I occasionally will watch one of his videos because they really do make really good content. But this whole idea, Pat McAfee returning to the NFL, it got my mind going. And here's why Pat McAfee should do an NFL comeback and join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if he did this, he would have to leave his show for a couple of months, 3, 4, maybe 5 months if they made a deep playoff run. And it would hurt his show, definitely. Like him not hosting a show every single day would be bad for business in the short term. But think about the long-term ramifications and the benefit. You know, number one, he could still call in at least once a week and be a guest basically on his own show, calling every Wednesday. Here's Pat McAfee's weekly appearance from the Buccaneers to talk about his season, how it's going. But again, minus the short-term effects, because it would hurt him to not be doing a show for 4 or 5 months. But the long-term effect, man, it would help him so much. Number one, he might win a Super Bowl. And if Pat could win a Super Bowl, him being able to say forever, "I won a Super Bowl in the NFL," he could say it'd be really, really great for his brand. You know, there's always that phrase I think they use, "for the brand." It's funny to me. But he'd also be able to say that not only did he play with Peyton Manning, but Pat McAfee could say he played with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. That's a big deal. And the stories that he would have after a year with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he'd be able to tell those stories for the rest of his life on his show and in his content. And then think about this. He retired at really the prime of his career. I really believe that one final year in the NFL where, like a farewell tour, where all along the way, he knows this is my final meeting. This is my final team dinner. This is my final game in Arizona. This is my final game in this city. He'd be able to enjoy the experience and understand that it would give him closure. When I played football, I never really had the awareness that my final game was my final game. I never knew this is my last moment here, my last moment there. For Pat McAfee to get closure, I think it'd be really good for him to have an understanding. This is my farewell tour and my final year. And then, not only that, as a football fan, I want to see Pat McAfee back in the NFL. It'd be so much fun. But, I don't know if the Buccaneers even have an opening for Pat. I really don't. I haven't looked at the roster. This is a fun hypothetical I have to think about. But here's a really interesting part of this. As far as I can tell, Peyton Manning has never formally been on Pat McAfee's show. If you Google Pat McAfee, Peyton Manning, there are so many videos that come up on YouTube of Pat McAfee talking about Peyton Manning, this story and that story and here and there. But I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning has never really called into the show and done a formal interview. Now, Tom Brady, if he played with Pat McAfee, I'm pretty sure they'd kind of fall in love and have a fun, lighthearted relationship where no matter how deep it was. But Tom Brady's the kind of guy he's left New England. He's trying to change his brand, make it more appealing and more approachable. And Tom wants to appear like a guy who's fun and lighthearted. He did that interview with Howard Stern recently. I'm pretty sure if Pat McAfee and Tom Brady played on the same team, Tom Brady just might make an appearance on the Pat McAfee show. And man, would that be good for business. I just think all around, Pat has nothing to lose by making a return and playing in the NFL again. Having one final year, a farewell tour, it would give him closure. It would give him stories he'd have forever. He might win a Super Bowl. This hypothetical is really fun for me. I want to see Pat McAfee in a Buccaneers jersey playing for Tampa Bay. I think it'd be awesome. It probably won't happen, but man, I would love to see it happen. Pat, if you're watching, please do it. Please make a return. It'd be so much fun. It's a crazy fun scenario to think about, but I think in the end, it'd be really good for business as well as a good experience on the football field for Pat McAfee to play one more time with Tom Brady and Tampa Bay for the Buccaneers. In case you don't know, Strong Opinion Sports is not just a YouTube channel. It is also a full audio podcast. You can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, pretty much everywhere you find podcasts. And if you like podcasts, please do me a huge favor and give it a listen.